Forest of Dean. I came here once with my mum and dad. Years ago.
Why don't you set up camp? I'll check the forest. I've had a look around.
Best to check again. There are patrols everywhere. We can't be discovered now.
I've had a look around.
Best to check again. There are patrols everywhere. We can't be discovered now.
Phoenix.
Greetings to all of our listeners. We start today's broadcast with some sad news. We regret to inform you that the remains of Bathilda Bagshot have been discovered in Godric's Hollow. The evidence is that despite sightings of her out walking in Godric's Hollow, Bathilda died several months ago. The Order of the Phoenix informs us that her body showed unmistakable signs of injury inflicted by dark magic.
There was also evidence of a recent battle in her home and the building next door.
And has the Wizarding Wireless Network News reported any of this? No.
The Wizarding Wireless No News Network.
Sadly, these aren't the only deaths that the news network and Daily Prophet didn't think important enough to mention. It is with great regret that we inform our listeners of the murder of Ted Tonks and Dirk Creswell. A goblin by the name of Gornock was also killed. It is believed that Muggle-born Dean Thomas and a second goblin, both believed to have been travelling with Tonks, Creswell and Gornock, may have escaped. If Dean is listening, your parents and sisters are pretty desperate for news.
We have to go off the air now, but as we do, we ask you to take a moment's silence in memory of those who have fallen.
Sirius.
We apologise for our temporary absence from the airways, which is due to a number of house calls in our area by those charming Death Eaters. But now we're back. So let's move to news concerning the wizard who is proving just as elusive as Harry Potter. We'd like to refer to him as Chief Death Eater. And here to give us his views on some of the more insane rumours circulating about him, I'd like to introduce our new correspondent, Rodent.
I'm not being rodent. I told you, I want to be Rapier.
Oh, all right, Rapier. Could you tell our listeners the various stories you've heard about the Chief Death Eater?
Yes, I can. As our listeners will know, unless they've taken refuge at the bottom of a garden pond, you know whose strategy of remaining in the shadows is creating a nice climate of panic. Mind you, if all alleged sightings of him are genuine, there must be 19 you-know-who's running around.
Who shoots him, of course. The air of mystery creates more terror than actually showing himself.
Agreed. So, people, let's try and calm it down a bit. Things are bad enough without inventing stuff. For instance, this new idea that you-know-who can kill you with a single glance from his eyes. That's a basilisk, listeners. One simple test. Check whether the thing that's glaring at you has legs. If it has, it's safe to look. Although, if it really is you-know-who, that's still likely to be the last thing you ever do.
Well, thank you for that update, Rodent.
Rapier.
And don't forget to tune in again, listeners, for more stories, tales, updates and advice. In the meantime,
stay safe and support Harry Potter.
No! Come back! Ow! Fringo! Who sent you? What do you want? Come back! The Sword of Gryffindor. Are you mental? Why didn't you take this off? It's a job I followed your Patronus. Why did you dive in there, you mental case?
The sword of Gryffindor. The Patronus wasn't mine. Whoever left it must have wanted us to have the sword. They want us to destroy the locket. Do it.
What?
It has to be you, Ron. I know it. As soon as it opens, use the sword. Destroy it. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't listen to it!
Compared with the boy who lived.
Stupefy! Stupefy!
What have you ever done?
Stupefy! 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 Stupefy!
Your mother. I have seen
I'm sorry I left.
You sort of made up for it tonight. Getting the sword, finishing off the Horcrux.
And just think of it. Only 3 more to go.
After you left, Hermione cried. Let's go to the camp. She'll want to see you.
I'm sorry I left. I didn't want to leave, it was just... That Horcrux was bad for me. That thing affected me more than you and Hermione. It made me think stuff. Made everything worse. I was sleeping in this little pub when I heard Hermione's voice, and yours, saying my name. I clicked the deluminator and this tiny ball of light appeared. It touched my heart. The ball of light brought me here. As soon as I heard Hermione's voice, I knew everything would be okay. Her voice made me feel warm inside, like the first sip of a cup of tea.
You thought that was my Patronus? My Patronus is a stag, not a doe.
Right, antlers.
Where did you go? Your mum and dad's?
I haven't seen Mum since the wedding. If I led the Death Eaters to Mum and Dad, they'd torture them.
So, where do you think your mum and dad are?
I don't know. Somewhere safe, I hope.
Are you alright?
Yeah, sure. Come on, let's go to Hermione at the camp.
Don't worry about Hermione. She's been worried about you.
How long do you reckon she'll stay mad at me?
Keep talking about that little ball of light in your heart being touched. She'll come around.
It was true. Every word.
Don't worry about Hermione. She's been worried about you.
How long do you reckon she'll stay mad at me?
Keep talking about that little ball of light in your heart being touched. She'll come around.
It was true. Every word.
Stupefy! You gits!
You'd better be quiet. I don't want to get flattened. I bet Hermione's mad with me, isn't she? I wanted to come back the minute I'd left. Just didn't know how to find you. Well, until I used Dumbledore's Deluminator.
Don't worry about Hermione. She's been worried about you.
How long do you reckon she'll stay mad at me?
Keep talking about that little ball of light in your heart being touched. She'll come around. Stupefy! Stupefy!
Did those trees just move?
Stupefy! We can do this! Stupefy! Stupefy! We can do this! You get! Stupefy! Stupefy! Expulsion! Dearborn.
Hello to all those on the run, in hiding, or staying and standing up to you-know-who.
This is your update on what's what.
Further news for those trying to get hold of a decent wand. Following the mysterious disappearance of Ollivander from Diagon Alley, news from abroad is that the famous wand maker Gregorovich has also vanished.
More names to add to the list of those disappearing. A list the Ministry seems to be doing nothing about.
That's not completely true. They are denying people are disappearing. That's doing something.
So, to help you disappear from view before the authorities make you disappear, here are some more top tips. A quick reminder for all of those who are too terrified to pay attention in care of magical creatures.
Large, stupid, more muscles than brains. That's a troll. Very strong, but very slow.
If it looks dead, it smells dead, but is still moving, that's an inferi. Run away! Shifty look, terrible clothes, bad attitude, that's a snatcher. Careful of them calling for reinforcements.
News today that evidence of muggle-borns and undesirables is being collected at the Ministry and taken to a secure room. These items incriminate innocent muggle-borns of nothing more than their parentage.
If this evidence was to disappear, then these muggle-borns would be free.
Wouldn't that be a bad thing?
Oh yeah, terrible.
Good luck out there.
Remember, we're here for you.
Harry! You
Ow!
complete
Whoa!
idiot!
Hey!
Ronald Weasley!
Ow!
While you were off, we were almost killed by a giant snake in Godric's Hollow.
Hey, Hermione, stop! We've destroyed the Horcrux.
This stag doe thing led us to the Sword of Gryffindor. Harry almost drowned getting it.
Ron saved my life. And we used the sword to destroy the Horcrux.
And I suppose you think that's enough to make up for just disappearing on us.
We've destroyed one Horcrux. But there are still 3 more out there.
Well, I have found something. Look at this. That symbol keeps cropping up. Here, in the Tales of Beedle the Bard, in the graveyard in Godric's Hollow.
And at the wedding. Xenophilius Lovegood was wearing it.
You think Xenophilius knows what it means?